Alright there guys, time for some Sega action. Another shooter review. Hey, what did you expect? It's Guardian Force. This is by Success, 1998. Success did the famous Cotton series, which saw a couple of sequels on the Saturn. This one's an overhead scrolling shoot 'em up. Now the difference between this and most of your other Saturn shooters is that this one you control a tank, and with your joystick you control the movement of the tank, and with your left and right trigger buttons you control the turret. Now straight from the go you can see that you can crash into scenery and die, because this is a forced scrolling game, which means that you need to be careful where you're going. And to start off with, it feels a little bit funny controlling a tank. It feels like it's got inertia. It doesn't feel like a sort of nifty spaceship, but on the plus side you've got this turret. Now I've already collected a different weapon for the turret. I think there are about 4 or 5 different turret weapons in total, along with about 4 different forward firing weapons. The cool thing about the forward firing weapons is that they're always firing forward, so in that respect it's very much like a normal shooter. Now you see that orange pad there, right? I'm going to collect that. That boosts up my level. Now down on the bottom left you'll see I'm now on level 2. And when that gauge goes up to the top, your forward firepower increases. That red little thing there was I think that was a weapon for the main fire. There are some interesting main firing weapons. Not all of them are very good. There's one which is terrible. It's like a ball on a chain. It looks like, yeah, that one. It's hopeless. I don't like weapons which feel really clumsy. It's a bit like the weapon 4 in Gunhead. It's these sort of rotating balls that just feel really useless. Some people will like it. Anyway, first boss encounter. Pretty cool actually. Damn cool boss. And you have to sort of scavenge around those bonuses. And you'll see some of them give you more points than others. Confusing. First you think those are power-ups, but they're not. On to level 2. Some very neat background effects on this game. This is the most recent Saturn shooter I've bought, and it's quite pricey these days. It's not one of the most obvious ones you'd buy, so it's near the bottom of my list. It goes to show though, I've been looking for it for a good couple of months now, and I waited and waited and waited, didn't commit myself to get it at £45, which is about the standard rate, and ended up getting it for 25, which I'm pretty chuffed about. Now there are all sorts of bosses littered through the levels, not necessarily just at the end. This guy reminds me of one of the ones on Silhouette Mirage, where there's a sort of rotating revolver. The other similarity with Silhouette Mirage is the fact that some of these sprites rotate. I haven't seen any sprite scaling in the first 3 levels, but there's a lot of sprite rotation, and you don't see that on all the shooters on this system, which is kind of odd because, you know, the Sega was a pretty powerful machine. You'll also notice that the game is a mixture of sideways and vertical scrolling levels, and like this one, they scroll in different directions in the same level. What you'll also notice is when I fired off my smart bomb there, you can aim it, which is really useful because stuff comes at you from all over the screen. Now what I've got now is a really nice Vulcan forward-facing. It might be a turret weapon actually. No, I tell a lie. The Vulcan is a turret weapon, and I've picked up some homing missiles. And there's actually 3 weapons you can hold simultaneously. There's your turret, your forward-facing, and your missiles. And I guess the homing the smart bomb kind of comes on top of that. So this is the second level, and you get 4 bosses coming at you. Each one in turn a bit harder than the last one. All of them requiring a lot of dexterity and movement to fight them off. I guess the best feature about this game is the way that the enemies and the bullets are pretty fast. You have to dodge quite a lot, and dodging is fun. I think in any shoot 'em up game you know, firing is about half of the action, the other half is dodging, stating the obvious. So when you're dodging, you want to be dodging interesting stuff. You just don't want to be dodging hails and hails of boring bullets. And like some of the other games I've reviewed, this has got fat bullets, lasers, thin bullets, piddly bullets, which I always think is good. And you know, the bosses on this game are quite cool. I wouldn't say they were the bosses to end all bosses, but they're pretty good. The only problem with this game is it gives you infinite continues. Now that little laser volley there will remind you of Tsukiyu Rentai, first end level boss, which is nice. Always good to be reminded of that game. So coming up to the end now of this short little overview, Gary's on holiday. He's gone to Solihull on his holiday this year. He's looking for Dragon's Quest 22. So we're on to the scores, and I'll rate this game sort of in comparison to the other shooters that I've played on the Saturn. So graphics 7.5, sound is pretty good, very chunky sound effects. It's pretty playable, but it's quite expensive for a game that isn't the best of the genre. Thanks for watching.